morning, guys. It's Tuesday morning. I'm heading into work a little bit late today because of me. Because I had to do a show for the cooking show. I did pineapple salsa. And when I go home later, I'm going to have to try to get it edited in time to go up on Wednesday night. So Joe was very lenient with me today because he's still kind of recovering. Want to say hi, baby? Baby, want to say hi?
Morning, folks.
Morning, people. He's a little bit more deaf right now because of congestion. You know, Joe is hearing impaired to a degree. He's not ashamed to talk about it, but he doesn't like me to blab it to everybody. But we don't know what made Joe go deaf.
You?
No, it wasn't me. You were deaf when I met you.
All day long.
No, I don't squawk. You wouldn't. Oh my God, he's so horrible. Calandra, I'm gonna allow him to tell the story of how we met, but I always cut him off when he starts telling the story because it's not even an elaboration anymore. It's down and out lies that he tells.
Remember I said?
You better not say no bad words on my thing.
No.
Okay, say it.
It's not a bad word.
Say the song.
It's hard to kiss those lips at night that chew your ass at all.
That's a bad word. Who sings that song? He doesn't even know who sings the song.
I can't remember.
Dang, it's bright over here. Let me switch out my glasses, guys. I'm gonna squint rather than switch out my glasses because then you're gonna. It's Vince Gill. I thought it was him, but you don't like him.
Let's go. Wake up.
He doesn't like Vince Gill because he sings in a squeaky, high pitched voice. He likes a deep baritone. Doesn't like tenor voices. I'll tell you what kind of voice I like. I like a woman that sings tenor. Oh my goodness, that just gives me chills. I just don't know why I love it. I love deep voices like Millie Jackson. You know, I introduced Jada to so many different types of music when she was younger that she's so well versed in different artists that her young friends like Angel and Collins like, Millie Jackson? Who's that? I don't know where the keys are, Joel. Oh, right here. Millie Jackson? Who's that? And then they hear her like Jada will play If We're Not Back in Love by Monday and, you know, sing it and just, belt it. And they would be, oh my goodness, such a song exists, such an artist exists. You know, they were just, Jada's so well versed. Because my dad did that for me. You know, when I was a child growing up in Belize, my friends weren't able to listen to a lot of different songs. And my mom and dad allowed us to listen to anything because they just wanted us to be well versed. My dad had a band when we grew up in Belize for 10 years. He never played in the band. He owned and managed it. He always was on the business end of everything. And it was a popular band in the land. And they did a lot of, you know, songs too that other people didn't do. Whenever Joe checks this mailbox, all he finds is junk and bills. I don't find no bills today. So it's just junk right now. But where was I, Joe? Where was I? Oh, before he told me about that stupid song. Yeah, about his hearing impairment. I met Joe when he was 26 years old. He was about to be 27 in a few months. And I thought he had a hearing problem, but I thought he was too young to have a hearing problem, you know, if he wasn't born with it or something. And later on, after we were married, we went to one of those medical thing that they have in parking lots and stuff, you know, where they take that machine and check your neck for blood clots and they check your hearing and your sight and your blood pressure and stuff like that. And we went into the trailer. Let me tell the story, Joe. Don't get out yet. Went into the trailer.
Oh, man, I got things to do here.
Yes, darling, my love, my pretty. Okay, shut off the car. Let me tell the story.
I got stuff to do.
And everybody came out of the trailer because I had my hearing tested too, and they're like, you pass. And they got to Joe and they go, you pass. I'm like, that guy doesn't know what he's doing. Joe didn't pass. And that was my way of tricking Joe into getting a hearing exam because I don't know if you guys know this, but you can't tell people that they're deaf. They get angry. And women will take it a little bit more easily than men. But men get super angry when you tell them you're deaf. Like right now, my dad has a little bit of trouble hearing, but I can't tell him he's deaf. What? Are you crazy? So, Joe, they called him back in the little thing and they said, you need to go see your doctor because you didn't pass. And then he went to see the doctor and then they fitted him for hearing aids and he had him. Joe, how long did you have those hearing aids? Like 10 years? Yeah. 10 years for the hearing aids? Did you have another set before though, right? Or was it only one set?
Only one.
Well, he only had the one set for 10 years. The hearing aids went missing. You guys already know the story. We vlogged about it already, where Joe blamed me for throwing away the hearing aids, and I don't know why I would do that, because I want the man to be able to hear me. But now that he is congested because of this cold that he has, he's even more deaf. So we've reverted back to doing sign language with him right now, because it's frustrating to talk with him. And I'm really going to start saving my Google money. I've been using my Google money to buy things for the home, but I'm going to start saving my Google money and put together to buy him a new pair of hearing aids from Costco. They're about $2,000. Josh was like, do a crowdfunding for it. But you know what? Crowdfunding doesn't work if you're not popular. So I came to Walmart right after I got to work because Joe needed me to pick up a couple of items for a show idea that he has for his show for this week. So he's at the shop tweaking the machine to make it work properly. And then I'm heading back in right now. So, but it's a bleaky day today. There's a little chill in the air, but not enough for me to put my sweat top on. It feels nice. It feels cleansing. So let me go ahead and get in the car safely. It's about 9:45 and Joe and I have been printing for, I'd say, about an hour. Josh is on his way in right now. Everything's fixed on the machine, so it's running pretty smoothly. I wanted to have a talk with you guys. So, like Joan Rivers would say, can we talk? Can we talk? Is that a good New York accent, Calandra? Anyways, Joe's mom is having surgery right now for hip replacement. And I think they've been putting off the surgery for quite some while because she has a pacemaker. Anyways, I told Joe if he wanted to shut up the shop today and go down there, you know, today on the day of the surgery, that we could do that because the customer is not in a mad rush for the items that we're doing right now. But I don't think he's gonna go. The thing that I want to talk with you guys about is that, first of all, I want to thank you guys for never asking me about things that I don't bring up, you know, because you guys are always so respectful about that. I'm sure that a lot of you watching have wondered, you know, does Joe have a family? You know, how come they're never in the vlogs or on the cooking show and stuff like that? Yes, he does have a family. It's a huge family. From Joe's mom's side, Joe is one of 11 kids. One died when he was just a baby and one died a couple years ago. And then from the dad's side, he's one of like 9. 6 of those 9 Joe's dad had with his mom. Anyways, Joe's a 3rd child. He has an older brother and an older sister and then a bunch of siblings underneath. And when I first got married to Joe, or when I first met Joe 31 years ago, can you believe it's been that long? Josh was coming in right now. Let me stop for a minute so he can come in. All right, so Josh came in, so all that noise of the door and stuff is done. Anyways, so as I was saying, Joe comes from a pretty big family. But when I first got together with him 31 years ago, there was only like 2 brothers that were here in America at the time, and I got along really, really well with them. And then later the rest of the family came, and the sisters and the mom and everybody else. And then, you know, like with all big families, sometimes you just don't always get along. So I did my part, I tried. And it just got to a point where there was a lot of disrespect going on. Like, for instance, they would, you know, leave us off the invitation list for certain big events in the family, and then you don't know why you didn't get invited, and it hurts. You know, it hurt back then. It doesn't hurt anymore. And one of Joe's brothers that I was close to said, he told me, he says, the reason why the family is so disrespectful to you is because Joe has never put a stop to it. If he opens his mouth and he tells them, you know, what he expects from them, not even to have a fight, just to tell them what he expects, they will be better. And so Joe has never done so. Joe is not confrontational. If Joe gets in a fight, somebody else started a fight and he's defending himself. So anyways, he's choking to death out there. You think we should go look? So anyways, there was no fight that happened. There was no quarrel, dispute, whatever. There's nothing to forgive. Just 5 years ago, I decided that for my physical and mental health, I needed to be by myself. I needed to pull away from everybody. And I'm only close to one of his sisters that live in Belize and all her children. And because they're not into this kind of stupidity over here. I think when they come to America, things change. So anyways, I'm not close. Joe's mom I think we used to be close. I don't really know anymore because there has been no discussion in 5 years. And what she would do would confide things in me that Joe needs to know about. And she would say, don't tell Joe. And you can't do that to a wife, especially a wife that's very close with her husband. You can't tell me something and not assume that I'm going to confide it in Joe because he's my partner. And so I would keep her confidence, but to the detriment of Joe and me fighting. So I stopped doing that. And I think that was a major part of why we don't really get along. Or I don't even think it's not that we don't get along. I just don't care anymore. And so I told Joe, if you want to go. It's not a problem with me at all. But I don't know if that he'll go. But in the meantime, he's worried. He's a little bit worried. Now, let's talk about my sister. So anyways, I don't know if you guys, some of you have been watching the cooking show since the beginning and know that I have a sister that also does YouTube. That's my one and only sister. I have 2 brothers. And for the past year and a half, we've been taking a break from each other. At least that's what I'm calling it. Whatever happened to cause the break, she thinks she's right and I think I'm right. Or like my kids would say, she thinks she's right and you're right. But no, I'm not going to be unfair. So that's why I just kind of zoomed past her in the vlog the other day because she didn't give me permission to put her on. And I put her kids in it. So we've been talking through texting, about my mom's situation. But again, anything that's toxic to me, I walk away from because I have trouble with my digestive system. I've always had trouble with it since I was a baby. I was colicky. I always was throwing up. Always had dizzy spells. I always have trouble with, issues with nausea and stuff like that. But I've been feeling like super, super bloated after every meal, even if I eat a pea. And I had it before last year and I took some probiotics and went away. So I'm doing that again right now. But when I go see the doctor on the 18th, I'm going to bring it up because my friend Leah thinks it's my gallbladder. I'm praying that it's not because I can't take anesthesia. So what are they going to do if it's my gallbladder? So my eyes, on the other hand, my eyes are better. They only get wonky when I strain them when I'm editing for too long. And I clean them every day with that Johnson's No Tears baby wash, like Leah's mom told me to do. And I've had no reoccurrence of the blepharitis. And my dizzy spells, well, that's what I'm going to go talk to the doctor about because I'm about 99% well, but I want to be 100% well.
This garbage.
That's Joshua. Let's see. We're taking a break because Joe's patching the screen again. He's probably going to have to make a new screen, but he's trying not to. But anyways, he is out of control right now because we're watching Bold and the Beautiful.
I'm not watching it,
And
I'm just here.
he never watches soap operas, but sometimes he hears it peripherally, right?
Passions.
When I'm watching, well, he loved Passions, but that's dead and gone. But anyways, this is a part where Maya is supposed to be transgender. And Joshua says, why do they pick the most beautiful girl on the soap opera to make her transgender? And then the whole world knows she is, except the one person that's supposed to know. And Joshua is so much into writing and stuff, and he's like, the only way the writers can redeem this storyline is if they make the guy cool with it after he finds out. Because if he's like stupid about it, then it's just following the normal stupid soap opera plot.
Soap operas are too set back in the olden days. Like, we got shows like The Flash and Arrow where it's written better and people are smarter and not stupid. And then it's like, stupid.
Joshua needs to be a writer. You know what? He was a brilliant writer when he was younger. He just stopped. Now he's just a reader.
No, I draw. I don't want to write though.
You just illustrate?
Writing's tough, man.
Yeah, you have to know grammar. When I was writing my books, I had to look up a lot of old grammar that I should have known.
Because you have to be able to understand your characters and be able to do from their
You have to talk in their voice and stuff like that. Yeah. Just in case you guys didn't know, my mom went for a second follow-up, more invasive mammogram, I guess. And she already had the ultrasound. She went through everything I went through last year, where she had the first mammogram and then the more fine-tuned one and then the ultrasound. And she was petrified, of course, but I knew she had no problems. She had a PET scan before and no cancer ever showed up, so I'm not going to believe anything will show up. And this is her normal mammogram. This is not what they think is related to these cancer cells. And she was petrified, and she was, I worried for no reason. I said, I keep telling you, you're going to worry for no reason. You know, I don't let things like that worry me. I just pray and believe. I'm like a child when it comes to my belief. I am so tunnel vision, and I don't ever believe anything negative. Even if the doctor comes and give me a bad report, I say it's an evil report, and I just curse it, and I move on. You know, and I'm usually better afterwards. So she's kind of rejoicing today. Ashley, guess if the man gonna get sick. The man gonna get sick at the gym.
Put him out. He's telling
No.
me put him out in the gym.
No. The man gone at the gym, gonna work out and gonna get sick. But guess why? He don't wipe off the machines before he use it. And then he constantly touch his nose. I don't touch my face when I go to the gym. I come home and scalp my hand off first.
That's one thing. That's where you catch drum very fast.
So now he's sick like a dog. You feel better?
Very, very, yeah.
You feel better?
When I work up myself, then I will stop.
Where do you work up yourself for? Why?
Because of you got to work.
Me, I got him all worked up. Ooh, Asley, I got it going on. His mom is getting surgery for hip replacement today. But she have a pacemaker. So he the call, but nobody they answer the phone. So
She having a pacemaker?
she having a pacemaker. That's why they never wanted the surgery before.
Right, because it's dangerous, Papa. She's here or over there?
No, he did at LA.
Huh?
Did at LA.
Oh, well.
I tell Joe go. I tell her not living no regrets. Go and look after your mom.
Yeah, exactly. You see, you're a different kind of woman. You see, Joe, that's a wife.
So Joe, let me ask the school you.
That's a wife. That's a woman that don't want you to worry. Hear what she telling? Leave everything and go. That's a wife.
Go down. I mean, this is the day of the surgery. She gonna want to see a friendly face when you open the eye.
Right.
We'll see. Look at Wednesday and Daddy. She loves Joe so much. She remembers when she first came and Joe protected her from Diamond. Alright guys, take a look. See how this letter T is missing the top right there? Let me tell you what happened. So yesterday when Joe wasn't feeling well, he was supposed to be watching the bottles as they print so he could catch that type of mistake. That's a little piece of the tape that he uses to tape off the screen came loose and covered that letter, and it makes it look icky, right? I mean, it's a simple mistake, but it makes it look very icky. And so he was supposed to be monitoring, but instead he got up and walked to the back door. I guess he had a fever and he was hot. And then he got distracted, started making a screen, and then pretty much the thing was running unattended for a couple of boxes. So he should have called me at that point to come from the office where I was packing and just gone ahead and monitor, and so he could get a break, or we should have shut down and gone home. But anyways, the damage is already done. We can't replace the bottles from the people who made it because we don't have any rapport with them to call and just order a couple more cases. They don't like to sell individual cases like that to, you know, just random people. They like to sell it to brokers, and then the brokers sell it to us. And so the bottle maker that Joe knows that would have the equivalent, she doesn't have any in stock right now, and she doesn't know when she's going to have any. So Joe is faced today with trying to MacGyver. I'm going to make that a verb now. To try to MacGyver these bottles to fix that little problem with the tea. And I've thought of some ideas, but they were washed. They were stupid. But he, I think, came up with a pretty decent idea. And so he's over at Osley's right now to build whatever he needs to build to try to fix this problem. And so this is what Joe's YouTube show is about, you know, kind of like his Mr. Mr. Fix-It things that he does. But I don't know that I'll put this one up because he's frustrated. You know, he might not have fun doing it. So we'll see though. I'm going to record and at least show you guys at the vlog. And then that way maybe I could get some footage to put at his show. But this is the kind of stuff that he does. You know, he'll figure it out. So let me go see where he's at. He's all the way over there. See where the brown car is? The guy with the hat on. You probably can't see it. This camera can't zoom in. But he's over at Osley. They're making something. Meanwhile, I have to stop goofing off and pack all of these right here. I've already packed these ones. So I'm working. See how the packing goes? I have to take them from here. They're loose. Then I stack them like this, the way they came in the box. So this is what the boxes look like when it's done packing. See how neat I have to put them? No, it's kind of like a math thing. And see, more to go. Let me show you what I have left and what I finished up. So I have these left. And this is what I'm done with. You guys know I have 205 boxes, right? We haven't printed the rest yet. We're just working on what we printed. Now let's see Joe's little gizmo. How it's coming along. I think we're going to name you Joseph MacGyver Greenwich.
It's a little bit too tight together. I got to be able to turn it, you know.
So show us, this is for my vlog. Show us what you did. You and Osley concocted this thing. I'm sure you were the design behind it and just commanded Osley to build. Did Osley call you MacGyver again? He loves calling you that. Show us the hinge. And you got the hinge from another neighbor. So that's your holder, your screen holder.
Yeah, put the screen.
You gotta do what you gotta do, huh, baby?
Put the screen in here.
I mean, if we had to buy back those bottles, it would be like 75 to 100 bucks out of our pockets. But
Put the screen in here.
I would have done that if she had the bottles.
All right.
But because she doesn't, we gotta do what we gotta do, right, babe?
Except for 2 hole, I'll put 2 screws in there. So hold the screen. We'll go like that.
Say that again for Calandra. What do to the hole?
Huh?
What do to the hole?
What I did to the hole? I punctured 2 holes.
No, a bore. You say a bore 2 hole.
I bored 2 holes in there.
Which that's correct, you know. They bore holes in the ground all the time to check for gases and stuff.
Whatever.
I'm gonna go back to my packing, baby. So it's 1:30 and I'm gonna go back to packing because I want all of those done before I leave today. And I don't know if we're gonna start printing those bottles that Joe is trying to remedy, but I'm kind of excited that he's figuring it out because it's gonna save all those bottles for one, and for two, it gives him something to do, and he's not actually working, you know, physically hard over there. So for lunch, I had some meatloaf that Jada made, some turkey meatloaf. She is so good at it. I think we eat that meatloaf at least once a week. And I had a garden salad with it. I ate very little bit, and I feel good. I don't feel bloated and stuff like that. So I've been minimizing what I've been eating, and I think this last week I shed like 5 pounds. And of course, I always have a lot of weight to lose, but I know that it's because I'm eating way less, and then still I'm working out. And I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it to see if I can feel better and not feel so bloated. But you guys know I have a doctor's appointment on Monday, and we're going to know what's happening soon enough. Mommy goes to see the oncologist tomorrow, and she's not scared. Those results that she got yesterday about her mammogram really built her faith and motivated her. And she's having a pretty decent day right now and watching what gives her the nausea so she can avoid it. She's learning. And so back to the grind, guys. Back to the grind. All right, guys. So see, the boxes are done from there. They've been packed. So they moved over here. Quite a bit I did today, huh? And Joe is still messing around with his makeshift hand screen printer. I'm just amazed at how smart this man is. He's got a registration pin here. And he's actually getting them done. He cut out a little piece. You are so smart. This is what I made for dinner, guys. Stewed chicken. And I took some of the chicken and made this escabeche for Joe. I figure all this onion and chicken and soup and stuff is gonna make him get better. So it's time to serve. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and please check out my other 2 channels, the product review channel, Bear Pantry Talk, and the cooking show, The Bear Pantry Show, where you will find over 100 Belizean recipes.